No, you. Oh my gosh, I don't ask for much. I don't ask for much. There we go. Okay, let's go play.
I thought it would be nice for a change of pace to have a cohesive thought for the entire month of May, so I'm going to be taking this room back to its studs and teaching you basically everything it takes to create a room besides the actual framing of it by redoing this outdoor bar. There's just so much happening here. That's all a first for me to even take off of a wall. You guys know the story by now. I moved to Joshua Tree. This is the property. No, this is not the inside of my house. This is the outdoor bar. So we've actually already tackled quite a lot together so far with this outdoor structure slash like the land that's around it. So episode 1, I showed you how an update is pretty crazy with just a coat of paint, and we did the exterior episode. Number 2, I brought you a makeover so you can come in design-wise with me and kind of hold you guys over as I episode. Number 3, went ahead and cleaned the property that is strictly on this stone because, episode 4, here we are. We're gonna be demoing and redoing this bar. The reason I wanted to do this bar last, quite frankly, is because I was avoiding redoing the roof portion just because I'm a little bit intimidated. This is a very overwhelming project. Can I just be honest with you guys? All my YouTube friends, they all have these series and these episodes and these parts, and that's just not how it's working out in my favor over here. So basically this is quote unquote episode 4, part 1 of the bar, because I'm going to take it down to its studs, rewire the electrical and show you how to do that, and then basically tackle any of the foundation issues, the roof, the framing issues, and literally redo this entire thing. Ooh, here we are. Let's get started, shall we? God, this thing is actually heavy. I always say that demo is my favorite part, and it is no different here, but it was interesting to run into different issues that I was not anticipating. I quickly learned that when you demo a room, you can see how you were either set up for success or the room didn't uphold how it was originally made, and now you really just need to redo it. So you're kind of looking at how to deconstruct and then go about it in the correct way. You're learning from their mistakes, essentially. The weather was starting out very nice, and I knew looking at the room that there was a leak in the roof, but I just didn't pay any attention. This is gonna make sense later. So I started to focus on the floor. I wanted to rip it up, see what the foundation was like underneath, maybe what pesky animals were hiding and just infesting the area because they're attacking all my plants from left to right. But anyways, I digress. The original owner had some of these like vinyl tiles underneath the carpet that he had on top. And so when I ripped that up, I realized there was termite poop underneath the tile, but on top of the plywood. So my I've never done this before kind of stress and intimidation level was at an all-time high. Just wanted to show you guys it is windy and this is fully intact still. But what I really wanted to show you guys was this. So that is termite poop. Let's see, where else do we got a lot of it? Oh yeah. And that is termite poop. It's a lot of termite poop. After seeing that, that made me instantly inspired to rip off the drywall to take a look at where these termites are exactly. Are they still just in the floor? Have they moved? And that's why I started to rip apart the walls, because what the heck? I've never had to deal with termites before. This is making me think I need to press pause on putting the drywall up and just focus on doing the subfloor with you guys and demoing everything to prep for electrical and wall and ceiling as a different episode, because it's just a lot. And we're just gonna continue a demo and then I'll show you how to do a subfloor, because I was not anticipating, I wasn't anticipating that. So there we go. I am excited that I decided to pull back that drywall because, like I mentioned, there's clearly water damage, which is leaking from the top, which is the roof, which I knew was leaking anyways, but it was just nice to get a bigger picture, even though it was equally as overwhelming. I just kept moving forward with the demo and did what I could do best that day, which was removing all of the junk and getting a full picture of what we're about to get ourselves into. These are the treasures that we found when taking things off of the wall. I'm not sure I'm gonna be reusing that, but I'm definitely using all of these 3 things for something later, and that for a tray in the shade room. Fun. I'm gonna stay masked up because that is definitely not okay to breathe in. I need to go to Home Depot and get a better mask before I continue standing over there and getting all this rock down. I will be reusing this rock for another project, but the cement portion, I'm not throwing any of that away. All the demo that you see me doing that is cement or anything like rock related that might look like debris or trash to you guys, I am using as fill throughout my 5 acres. So that will be like thrown into a huge hole that I have out in my 5 acres that I will then fill with sand to level out my land. Little fun fact for you. For the mold that I came into contact with, I just used a vinegar water solution, sprayed it on, and used terry cloths to scrub it away and rinse it and let that fully dry. I ended the day by cleaning up everything that I could and letting that dry overnight, and I did want to take a quick second to thank today's sponsor. I wanted to hop on and say thank you to Storyworth for sponsoring today's video, but also to let you know about the product because I'm pretty sure basically everybody for our first grandbaby of the family is going to want to use it. So my family members, listen up. Storyworth is an online service that allows your grandmother, mother-in-law, your mother to get prompts and write down memories that create this beautifully bound book, basically of their life through these prompts that they receive online. They don't have to do anything, they get to just fill it out. I really like it because you're almost like chaptering different people and different memories throughout time for whoever you'd like to gift it to. It's like you're writing your story as you're living it, but you don't necessarily have to sit and really think about what you're gonna be writing because you receive these prompts via Storyworth. Some of the prompts that they give you are what's the best advice your mother has given you, or if you could choose any talents, what would they be? After 1 year, Storyworth will take all of mom's stories, photos, and bind it into this beautifully bound book that you see right here before me. This past year hasn't been ideal for anybody, and I really think this is a fun way to be able to be there for our family no matter what your circumstance is. This is not only one of the most unique ways I've seen to engage with family, but it's a whole new way to engage with your family, especially if you can't be there for them, like I cannot be there for my brother, his wife, and my nephew out in London. If you would like to give your mom the most meaningful gift like I am to my mom with Storyworth, get started right away without the need for shipping, plus $10 off by going to storyworth.com/Rachel M. That's storyworth.com/Rachel M. Thank you, Storyworth, once again for sponsoring today's episode. Let's jump back into what other issues we are going to be running into with this outdoor bar. Okay, not a cloud in the sky basically yesterday, and today it's completely overcast. Good thing. Oh, there's the culprit. I got him red-handed. I put paprika and coffee grinds on everything. You better not have ate my plants, you little bunny. I'm gonna thump you. Just kidding, you're really cute. I won't. Cleaning up the project is not my most favorite thing to do, but that is when I take the time to just sit back and kind of assess in my brain what exactly is going on. I will just start to think about how I would tackle it myself, start to do some research in between breaths of all these wheelbarrows we have to do all over this property, and then I'll dive right back into what is at hand that I can manage. That is new to me. That's how I kind of like can take on these projects, is just taking it bite by bite, but only the bites that I can chew. I'm gonna set the blade depth to be just the thickness of the plywood. See that? That way it doesn't hit the support beams underneath, and we can just take away the top pieces to replace the subfloor. Not all subfloor is going to be the same. Hopefully you won't even have to rip up yours, and it will be in great condition for you to just lay new floor on top of it. When I started ripping up the floor, I started noticing this back right corner, how much damage there was to it, which will be fun to assess in a later episode because clearly we are breaking this down, like I mentioned, to bites that we all can handle. Wow, just the evidence right there. I feel really bad that I'm gonna kick him out of his home, but what made me feel a little bit better about this is because it's also a gravesite. Yeah, 2 big skeletons. So we're gonna clear all this up. I'm gonna put some rodent repellent and paver sand where I see holes throughout where they're digging into, and just make it look nice and pretty and get rid of that. I cleaned that up the best that I could, just moving around sand, getting it level, and then I will secure from critters on the exterior, but then I had to pop on screen looking like this. I really couldn't make this up if I tried. It's legitimately raining right now. The roof is leaking. I have wood in my back of my car. I'm so over it. This project's just going so left. Well, hello, my beautiful YouTube family. I'm hoping that this audio is better than what the wind is allowing. I do want to talk to you about subflooring because there was termite damage, obviously, in the plywood before. Now I'm going to lay a new subfloor. However, I'm not using subflooring because right now lumber prices are so insane. For one sheet of subflooring was $107. So if I wanted to purchase 3 sheets, because I would have to use 3 sheets here, that would be over $300. What? So I looked up a couple of things and it said that a good substitution is actually CDX plywood, which is what I am using, but it is still holy mother of goodness. $55. I'm not okay with it. That is even more reason as to why I'm breaking things down in chunks. This actually is not uncommon to be like not on a cement foundation. So I don't want you to get thrown off that you can see the floor. So what we're gonna do now is go through to make sure all these beams are level, which I have a feeling they're not. And that's okay because we're just gonna add 2x6s and 2x4s to level out in between each one. So when we lay the floor down, it will level onto the new lumber that we're adding to create a fully level, take a shot every time I say it, floor. It's just a lot and it's fun. This is all fun, but I definitely wish things were more exciting. But what we're doing is a subfloor, people. So we're gonna take this level, go from beam to beam and start to see what is level or what is not level. And then I'm gonna measure out the pieces that I need to cut. You want to leave a 1/8 inch gap in between the pieces you're laying down for just natural expansion. You see the gaps out there? I need to fix that on the exterior and the interior. I'll fill that with gapping stuff, but in a second. Let's get this flooring going. I really do hope, sir. I really do hope. Okay, I'm back. What a lady stance, I just realized. Sorry. Funny, my bad. Okay, so just a little bit, a little tiny bit over here, and then that's gonna make everything slowly go up. But I'm interested to know what you're like back here. See, level back here. So we start to lose level like there. So we'll make the 2x4 flush or the 2x6 because I kind of want to, why did I get 2x6s? A 2x4 flush, and then not shim, but we will level it out where it needs to be. It does not need to be level back here. We're just gonna figure out our way as we go along. So let's cut down some lumber. First off, 2x4s by me are currently above $7 right now. So I understand that these projects with new 2x4s isn't something that everybody can do due to lumber prices, but you can't compromise when it comes to a floor or a roof. You have to buy new. So I cut those 2x4s down to the size of my floor. I added a 2x4 to where there was an existing 2x4. And what we're gonna be doing is screwing the new 2x4 into the old one where the level tells me it is perfectly level.
It's not big enough.
I turned to the wonderful world of YouTube and watched a couple of videos to tell me how to level an existing floor. And these are the tips that they gave. It was using new 2x4s to do the leveling for you, and then also using deck screws. Okay, my anger subsided, sort of. Don't quote me. It's exactly why I'm barely getting anything done. It's just raining on and off, but the sky looks like that, like right out of a movie. So I haven't tarped off the roof and it leaks. Fun stuff. I'm not even gonna try to lie. I am so deflated. It hasn't rained at all. Literally start to do the bar. I'm gonna do the roof, and what happens? It rains. I'm just irritated because everything I literally just tried to avoid, everything. The weather didn't say it was gonna rain, nothing, and I started this project. Moisture is like the worst thing you can have. I wanna cry, because now I have to wait for this to dry out, even though it rained just for 3 seconds. I was already so far behind on all my other projects. I just decided to move forward with what I could do and just press through the fact that the rain was coming on and off and trust hopefully that it wasn't going to rain severely. I moved forward with cutting down 3 different sheets of that CDX that I told you I looked up to be a good substitute down to the size of the flooring that was there. Once I maneuvered all 3 pieces into place, which was actually surprisingly difficult, it's so funny how the easiest things tend up to be the most tedious and difficult every time I do a DIY, I secured it with more deck screws. Oh my goodness, that was so aggressive. I had to put a tarp up there and it wasn't working. So my neighbor, he lives so close, Mr. Brett Skull and Spade, you'll meet him very soon and I'll tag him for his channel. He just came over and helped me do that and I gave him a little bit of a tour. But let me show you the sunset. Like, I know I was stressing earlier, but like hands down, this just makes it all really worth it. Didn't go according to plan today and that is okay. Just gonna stare at this real quick and reconvene. Number 1, thought rabbits didn't like marigolds. Fun fact, these ones do. And then number 2, I stressed out so hard yesterday to get this up there and there's not a cloud in the sky today and the tarp is flying off. So, not a cloud in the sky, but subfloor is laid. And I'm gonna just fill the gaps here and there with some gap filler. I'm gonna go grab that and a couple of other things, but I am a happy girl finally. And then these will be sealed because I'm gonna be doing some tile epoxy situation for the flooring, I believe. Fun. I will totally let you know what that black spray paint is in the next episode, which will be electrical and roofing. But until then, I used the Great Stuff gap and crack filler to temporarily close off those holes because I need to really assess things from the exterior, and the theme of everything here is phases forever now in a day. I'm sorry to be so repetitive, but you know, I know some of you skip through my videos and you pop in at different times. So hi, I'm just reminding you. I want to be honest with you guys always, and I know that I say that all the time, but I want to just let you know time frame now on different projects. If I did not have to film this and we didn't encounter the problems that we did in a perfect world, let's say, this would maybe take 3 days time. But because of the issues that I ran into, I'm having to film it, and just in general, it's new to me. It took me all in all 7 days just to do this stage. As much as a frustrating journey this will be, I also think this will be very informative to not only me, but to you guys as well, to go along this journey of creating a room from the studs up. All right, well, this thoroughly wrecked me in a great way. It's a learning curve. So this is gonna be literally how to DIY a room from the foundation up. Well, an old room, I guess, not like building one. Anyways, episode 1 complete. Demo, subflooring, tips and tricks for you. You guys can learn from my mistakes. And the next episode is going to be roof and electrical. I will catch you guys very soon for the next episode of this series, even though we got a lot going on all the time over here. It's been a fun one. I will see you guys very soon for our next DIY. Anything for the people? Great job. Okay, let's do it. Let's go play. You wanna go play? You can tell that the roof is uneven because where the water pools. So even though I hate that it rained, it's good to know because this is going to be the next step, is to rip this sucker off. I do want to say thank you so much for the love you guys have been showing me lately. I know I posted an emotional YouTube story to give you an update about Callie's brother. The perfect puppy will come at the perfect time. So just wanted to say I love you guys. Thank you so much. And I will see you very soon for the next episode and next DIY.